Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for round 4 of the East Coast Series, coming to you live from Francorchamps in Belgium. And I'm Reexy, and with me I've got Nato. How you going, Nato?
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Johnny. How are we all?
Good, mate. Good. A little bit of loose driving there by Shane on the middle of the straight, by the looks. Anyway, it's a nice way to say welcome. All right, let's kick straight off into it. Nath, we might have a quick look at the track map for those that haven't been to Spa before. And
I reckon that it's a great idea.
so,
Wicked track.
the Spa circuit is located, as I said, in eastern Belgium, up in the Eiffel Ranges, or Eiffel Mountains, sorry, and quite well known in cycling because it's part of the Liège-Bastogne-Liège race. They cycle through the circuit, but it's also got a very strong, steep history in Formula One. We've got the tight turn one at La Source, which is always quite entertaining at the start of a race because you've basically got a hairpin about 200 metres from the start line, and it's always congested. And then, of course, we come down through what's known as En Rouge and Radillon. So it's turns 3, 4 and 5, which is basically one of the most exciting corners on the circuit.
Certainly gets the blood pumping, it does, Johnny.
It definitely does. And then we head up the Camel Straight, which is quite well known for some brilliant overtaking by Mika Häkkinen on Michael Schumacher in the day. And then into Lacombe and down into Bruxelles, into Pouon. Followed by that, we come into Campus, into Stavelot. So for those who don't know, the original circuit kept going on the Camel Straight and went out down the back through the countryside and rejoined the circuit at Stavelot. And then we come up into Blanchimont, which is probably one of the fastest corners and most difficult corners on the season that we're running this season. And then we come into the old bus stop chicane back onto the main straight. Should take the guys roughly about 2 minutes 18 seconds, but if you're as good as Cooper Webster, you can do it in 2 minutes and 17. So total length of the track is 7 kilometres. And Nate, how would you rate it on the difficulty schedule?
Or difficulty, it would have to definitely be up there because it's got a little bit of everything, and I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I am. It's 2 hands, 1 hand, no hands. It's just difficult, but at the same time, when you do manage to put a lap together, it is an amazing reward just for 1 lap. It is really, really good.
Yeah,
But all the other times you try to get it right and you don't because it is so ruthless and so hard to get an off track. So easy to get an off track around here and so easy as well to mess it up. When you do get that lap, it's an amazing feeling.
Oh, it is. It's one of those circuits with the elevation change. Heading down into En Rouge, up the Camel Straight, and then working your way back down the bottom to Stavelot, and then back up the hill, all done with high speed turns, high speed everywhere. It's awesome. I actually quite like it.
And it always leaves you with a little bit of a feeling of, I can go that bit quicker. Like, very rarely at this track do you go, yeah, I'm happy that I nailed every single corner in every single way. That could just be a little bit of the the lack of talent me coming out there, because there's a few tracks I seem to have that at. But however, it does seem to be a bit of a common theme at this track, though.
That's right. And a couple of the big talking points for today's race is James Scott's not with us tonight because he's focusing on the Supercar E Series, which kicks off tomorrow night. So good luck in that, James, if you watch the broadcast. And the other big talking point is Jamie Mcknight being knocked down 2 grid spots due to a technical qualifying rule. So it's good to see race control enforcing the rules, and it'll be interesting to see how Jamie goes fighting back from where he starts.
It'll be a difficult night for him, it will be.
It will be. And another big talking point, of course, is we have another new driver joining us tonight in the form of another Fishy Motorsports driver that's quite well known to everybody, Michael Whiting. So it'll be interesting to see what Michael can do in his first race in this series.
Always exciting to have new people coming on board, so welcome aboard, Michael.
And we might just have a quick look at the championship standings after 3 rounds. So it's very tight at the top with Blake Warboys in first place with 528 points. Harrison Dengate on 508, Jamie Mcknight on 500, with Christian Smart on 499 sitting just below him, followed by Scott McCune on 483, Craig Roffey on 476, Rob Carmichael 475, Michael Dumbrell 472, and Nicholas Loveridge rounds out in ninth at 466, and Nathan Gore on 459 in the 10. So that's really just quite congested at the top of that order board there. So it'd be really interesting to see tonight if Jamie can put the pressure on Harrison and if Christian can keep the pressure on Jamie. That'll be where the talking points will be, I think. So it'll be interesting to see. That's where we are with the championship standings, and next week we'll bring you the teams. We're update on the teams championship. I think the guys had until tonight to notify their 2 team setups. I think most of the boys have done that, and if they haven't done that, we'll definitely know about it as we move on.
It'll be interesting to see how, looking at all this individual drivers' championship and then having a look at how the team standings go moving forward, you're more than just racing for yourself then. You're doing everything you can for a mate as well to help him out. So I wonder if it'll spice things up at different moments throughout the racing that we see.
It will be very interesting to see what effect that has on everybody, to be honest. As we move on, we've still got a couple of minutes to go here, so we've still got 3 minutes before the boys have to grid up. So if you are online watching us, give us a big shout out. Let us know where you're from and who you're supporting. And another big shout out has to go to 2 blokes that are missing tonight, and that's Ryan Van Ree and Blair Van Ree. Blair's 21st birthday today, so happy birthday, buddy. Enjoy the evening.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday. Too soon for karaoke. Sorry, I'll stop.
Oh, dearie me.
And that's why I should be left supervised by someone. Anyways, continue. Sorry, Johnny.
Yes, so we haven't got the qualifying. We'll show that up when we go to the grid. And yeah, so I reckon really interesting tonight. Another talking point is the track temperature is cool. We have basically starting early in the morning, so it's going to be completely different than what it was last week, where the track was 63 degrees. Tonight, the track's only 22 degrees. Mm. So the boys that were complaining about lack of grip last week have to step up now and prove that, grip's everything. But
we can do everything with all the grip.
Absolutely. And so
I have a really big question regarding grip and temperatures, Johnny. Mm-hmm. How are you going to cook eggs?
We're not cooking tonight, I don't think.
No, I'm going hungry.
Actually, what we've got tonight actually is another surprise. We've actually stepped ourselves up to more of a Formula One style, and we'll cross over into Michael Massey in race control at some stage today. The boys were pretty excited about being at Spa, so we'll see. We'll switch over and have a look what the boys are up to a bit later on once the race gets started.
We're really taking it next level here. Well, we'll be on those depots before we know it.
Oh, absolutely. This is... we're starting at the hang of this.
The real deal now.
The real deal. And a big shout out to Stewie Warboys, watching as always. And big shout out to Christine. And I've just been corrected that Blair's actually 22 this year.
Oh, living in the youth.
Shows how much of a good uncle I am. We've got Mary Partridge watching all the way from Foster, following young Harrison. So good luck, Mary. Hopefully Harrison can have a good night tonight. And I think the other shout out we better do before we get in trouble is a big shout out to Wendy. Jamie's going to have a bit of work cut out, but we'll see what young Jamie can do.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and listening to us again. It's great having a few regular viewers. I don't know how you feel about it, but I reckon it's really, really good having a few people come along and listen to us each Tuesday. So
yeah, it's definitely good. And the boys are about to go to the grid, so we'll just see if this works tonight. And it is. So on pole, we've got Blake Warboys and Harrison Dengate with a grid closeout, followed by Luke Holland from Taipan Esports and Michael Whiting, the name I did mention before to look out for, followed by Christian Smart, Troy Maguire. So Typhoon boys have all stepped up a bit more. Then Rob Carmichael from Fishy, followed by Jamie Mcknight, Josh Drage, Michael Dumbrell, Paul Young, and Michael Stewart. And then we've got Ash Barella in 13th, Dave Douglas 14, 15 Craig Roffey. Expect big things from Craig. He moves up through the field quite well last week. And Scotty McCune in 16th. Nicholas Loveridge in 17th, Luke Trehair in 18, 19th is Nathan Gore, 20th Jason Dibadito, Steve Kennedy 21, Big Shen McMillan and 22, Michael Schroeder at 23, Darren Crosby at 24, and Shane Roffey 25, Andrew Archer at 26, Mario Reale at 27, Tyrone Anderson 28th, Matty McMillan all the way back in 29th, Anthony Cuthbertson in 30th, Troy Sipple 31, Shane Ewens 32, Adam Dibatito 33, Big Faz in 34, Cookie in 35, David Garbutt 36. It's a big field tonight. And in 37th, we've got Pecky, we've got Paul Hayes in 38, Jacob Fraser 39, Kim Friora 40, Todd Martin 41, Frank Hodak in 42, Damian Johnstone starting from the back of the grid, which will make some entertainment for us. And our dedicated safety car driver is Richard Barella. And I'm sorry, I've got round 2 up there, which is wrong. So I apologise for that. We're still on L plates. So the boys will be going to the grid and we expect them to get away very shortly. And the boys are gridding, expect near the lights. Got Blake on pole.
Green flag.
Away we go for another race.
And coming to
away nicely. H got a little bit of wheel spin there, which has brought him up, but I think we've all managed to make it through the first corner.
Yep, it looks like we're away.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Yep, Tyrone Anderson up the back there. And Blake makes up the Camel Straight in first place. Running quite well. And
he's pulled a reasonable gap Blake has early on here.
He has. It's another good little start. And heading back, Michael Whiting's moved up into second.
Yeah, he's had another great start.
And we've just got a minor technical issue with trading paints, so I apologise for that, Nath.
That call in there. Schroeder's unfortunately pointing the wrong way. Must have been caught up in a little incident there. And, he's got someone. Adam
Dibatito. Adam Dibatito.
Adam Dibatito has been caught up in that as well as Shane Ewens, who is having a few troubles keeping the thing square because of the lack of rear boot on it and lack of downforce. So that won't be helping his cause there.
We'll see how we go with that one. Big moves being held down the back. It looks like coming up here at the end of lap 1, we've got Warboys, Whiting, Luke Holland, Christian Smart, Troy Maguire, and Jamie Mcknight 6th, and Harrison's dropped back to 7th. And we've already got a drive-through penalty for car 11. Vincenzo 44.
Start your race.
Definitely not. Let's just go back onto Harrison and see what's going on. So I apologise for trading paints not loading, guys. I'm working on that at the moment. That should start coming in shortly. I'm not sure why it didn't. So as we come down into lap 2, we've got Harrison Dengate sitting in a 3-4 car train here. As we head up the Camel Straight. And As you can see, the boys are all fighting for slipstream, fighting for position as we come into turn 3 up here. Sorry, turn 4.
And it's a big slipstream effect you get too. Like the amount of speed that you gain just sitting in behind there can make a huge difference.
And we've got a drive-through penalty for Shannon McMillan too, for an incident with car 28. So I'll try and get back to look at some of those once the race settles down, guys. In fact, we might go to the Dirty Pig replay and have a look at the start for Tyrone Anderson. We'll be back up the front in 1 second. Definitely crowded in there. Oh, big spinner in there as well. Poor old Tyrone spun round, rolling back there, getting out of everyone's way. Looks like we had a fair bit of action at the back, as you said, Nath, as we'll switch back to live pictures. Supposedly. So
Yeah, it's a very interesting track. It's very tricky especially when you got so many cars. With how fast and flowing it is, you really need to use up all the track. And when you have so many cars fighting for that valuable track position, it's very, very hard at times to make it through and not have any contact. However, all the boys have made it through, and we are still safety car free so far for the first few laps of this race. So that is a nice positive start.
Yeah, definitely can't argue with that. You'll definitely take the good start. As Blake comes up to start lap 3. Let's just play around with a few. So Blake coming up through Radion, followed by Michael Whiting, Christian Smart, Troy Maguire, Mcknight, Holland, Dengate, Dumbrell going a bit wide. Boys absolutely flying up through there. One of my special cameras I did for you tonight, Nath.
It's yeah, I love these extra cameras that you come up with. They certainly bring a different perspective on it compared to the normal iRacing ones. They're great.
Yeah, the old track cams by Miley. Working well. So hopefully some of these trading paints will start dropping in. It's telling me they're downloading, so we'll keep carrying on here. So let's ride on with Harrison. Harrison still battling it out for 6th and 7th behind Luke Holland. Jamie Mcknight moved his way up into 5th. He's up 3 spots. It's a fairly impressive start there for Jamie.
Well, as per pattern for a lot of for the first 3 races that we've seen, hopefully a lot of these drivers now are starting to settle into their rhythm. They've had their elbows out for a while now, so be able to sit in behind that slipstream and see how much fuel they can save, especially with being in the tow. Like, whilst it's very, very tempting to be able to go for that position ahead, the amount that you could save, and as we've seen the pit stop battles that come into it and falling just 1 lap short at the end, it'll be very, very good to see some train racing setting up for that final stint of the race.
Absolutely. Not sure what's happened to Troy Maguire there, but he's missing his rear fin, his rear wing, which is not a good way to start. But some say that losing the rear wing on the car in iRacing, particularly the V8s, make it go that little bit quicker in a straight line. So one of the indiscretions of the model there. But Troy's sitting nicely in 4th. As we move on to lap 4, we've got Blake Warboys 2.3 seconds in front of Michael Whiting, followed by Christian Smart. So we seem to be moving along quite nicely there. Followed by Troy, we're sitting on at the moment. Jamie, Luke, Harrison, Rob Carmichael into 8th. What we might do is we might head down the back and have a look at and say good day to some of the boys down there and see how they're getting on. Paul Hayes has gone into the pits with a crash with Dave Douglas. So let's have a look what's happened to Dave Douglas here. We'll just go the Dirty Pig replay. And we go to better. Oh, very tight coming into La Source. And it looks like he's overcooked it a little bit. Got on the sauce, so to speak. And I
Never
think
like too much sauce.
that's all. And we'll go back to live. And as I said, we might have a look. Quick look at Mario Reali. Looks like
Jumped up 8 spots he has.
He's in a great battle there.
Andrew Archer in front of him's jumped up 8 spots as well.
Yep. Of course, the man on the move we haven't spoken about, our hard charger at the moment, is Damian Johnstone. So I did call it early that he would be the man on the move and the man to contest with.
From 44th to 26th place around here, that's an impressive feat so far.
That is. It's been interesting to see if he's done anything with his tyres. That'd be the only thing I'd be questioning. Whether he's cooked them. Hopefully he hasn't, because there's still probably another 11 laps I go. I think we'll go in this tank. And this track is one of those tracks where you don't particularly want to have tyres that have gone off.
No, it becomes the 2-minute lap time all of a sudden starts feeling like a 10-minute lap time once your tyres are over the edge. It becomes very unpleasurable very quickly, it does.
It does. We might have a bit of a look as well. Have a look, see what happened to Mike Schroeder. I did see his name pop up on the list earlier. So Mike's battling in 37th spot with Dave Garbutt in front of him and Kim Fiora. So he's just dropped out. So not sure what's going on with Mike there. Probably a little bit of lag as well. I apologise for that because we've probably got some trading paint still coming in, which I can pretty much confess to. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know why trading paint start.
Yeah, it can be a bit weird trading paint sometimes. It's interesting how all these programs work and intertwine with one another to make it.
And we'll have a quick look at Simon Farrington. There we go. Someone's paint's come through. Simon Farrington coming up through in Rouge. Oh, the wrong camera. Give up, John.
So we're still racking up those hours on the old plates. But Simon getting passed by Tyrone behind him. Nice clean move. Plenty of room from both drivers.
A little bit of respect going around there, which is good to see.
But it's not over yet, because when Simon next has being so close in the toe, once he next has that the next straight come along, he might be able to work it into his favour.
Absolutely. We might just stay with these two boys for a second as they come down into Puon. It's interesting that Simon's been passed. There's a little bit of damage there on Tyrone's car.
A few early bruises it has.
It has. On the money there. And we might just have a quick look at Troy Sipple, see how Sips is getting along. And he's dropped out, so internet's been really good for me today. We might
If it's any consolation, it's a little bit heady to do on my end too, so maybe there is a little bit going on with this R Racing server tonight. Hopefully it's all good for the drivers.
Just going to break in there, Nath. It's had a crash, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
Ooh.
Coming up the end of the Camel Straight. And internet is being fun. I apologise for that, guys. And we should be back at live pictures.
Well, Michael Whiting's only about 3.5 seconds behind Blake, and it's about 2 seconds from him to Troy Maguire behind for the top 3. And then behind that, having Christian and Jamie just there, they're all in a nice train there. So Troy has lost his rear boot and rear wing though, so it'll be interesting. I wonder if that's why he's always able to keep that little bit of a gap on them. So zero dynamics
And
down that front straight and back straight.
looks like Troy Sipple's in a ding-dong battle here with Nicholas Loveridge and Nathan Cook.
Good sign. They're all sort of fanning out a little bit, but there's a number of battle packs throughout the field.
It's rather interesting.
Yeah. No relaxing for some of them.
Well, speaking of relaxing, let's go have a look, see what's going on in race control. Yep. I definitely think the boys up in race control have got the wrong idea with Spa.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit cool to be in the Spa for my liking, but you know, each to their own.
Each to their own, absolutely. We might just come back to the action.
We'll let them have a lovely moment in there, we will.
Ben's probably not going to talk to me again, but that's all right. Let's have a look, see how Shane Roffey's getting on while we're bouncing around through the field. So Roffey Sim Racing, Shane and Craig. Another ding-dong battle here, coming 2 wide, 3 wide as we come up into the chicane. A few wide there. Of course, we've got Damian Johnstone just in front of these boys as well. So Damian's really worked his way up. He's up 27 spots now, right behind Jason Dibadito. And the old Roffey Sim. Another wide turn at the back there behind him by Dave Douglas. And if you are watching along at home, don't forget to give us a shout out. I'd say rate us out of 10, but the way we're going tonight, I'd probably say don't.
It's a great learning experience, it all is. That's okay. We're just creating talking points for the viewers.
Absolutely. As you can see, like, we've still got some really good battle packs around the track as well, which is great to see. And I did call out that Mr. Mcknight had an accident before. He's still running in 5th place, so I'd probably say it was just a slight off. Something's probably unusual for Jamie, but that's all right. And while we're bouncing around, let's have a look at our other mate, Ash Borella. He's down 1 spot from his starting position. And it looks like everything's starting to settle down now that Trading Paints has come in. Thank you. And let's just jump on the nose cam, have a look as we go up the hill, as we come down towards Stavelot.
Another exciting view it is. Yeah, it's like we were talking about in previous weeks. This is another one of those tracks where smooth is key. Like the transition from, whilst there's a few corners and a few parts of the track that have got that really deep, really hard braking zone where hitting that marker and pulling it up just in time gains you a lot of time. There's so many, it's only a couple of spots in relation to the rest of the track, which is so flowing and smooth, where hitting enough of the brake to pull yourself up, but also not taking up so much that you're hurting your mid-corner or exit speed. It's just smooth in, smooth out. And it's just as the tyres get on, like we saw again in previous weeks, it's hard to then be able to get that power down. So it's all a nice juggling act, it is, and very, very easy in these cars to make one little mistake.
This is the part of the track I love the most. Coming down in Don Rouge. Come screaming into here, back it down a gear. Ride it carefully through there.
And then you come out here and you're like, oh, I can breathe again. And this section through here is pretty fun too, Johnny.
Up here, oh, absolutely. You got to get this corner just right. Braking very hard, bring it back down to 2nd gear, feathering it, riding over that curb. Coming around here, then all of a sudden you got to feather it again nicely. Back on the accelerator, hard as you can. Work up hard through the gears. Now brake back down the 2nd, and then it's time to wait, go. You don't want to go out too far wide there. You want to get back on it. Same thing again. Wait, go. Back on it. Work your way down. 4th gear now. to fifth, and then back down to fourth, feather it, clip the curb, don't run too wide here, you'll get a penalty. Back on it again and let it just ease out. Oh,
Whoa,
no!
whoa. Oh, he's a little bounce off there. He's back on. Oh dear, he's not going to like
Look
this for that
that.
commentator, sir. Sorry, Ash. Bloopers. Hit the bloopers button.
We might have a look how Luke Holland's going. Sorry, Ash.
Right up until that moment, it was a fantastic lap. But that's how easy it is to make a mistake, just clipping a little bit too much of the curb, and before you know it, the track bites back.
And I'll blame Josh for that, because Josh sort of hinted to me that I haven't been giving Ash much airtime, so I'll say blame your brother Josh, Ash, for that one. And so as we look back through, Blake Wallboys is out to 4 seconds. Troy Maguire's a further 3 seconds behind Michael Whiting, who's in second. Christian Smart is in fourth.
Josh agrees with you there. He goes that we should hop off of him now. So sorry, Josh.
Drive-through penalty for car 17. So Troy Sipple's got a penalty for an incident with 124. And we've got a bit of a battle happening with Smarty and Jamie Mcknight.
Yeah, they're staying nice and close, these three, aren't they?
They definitely are. As you can see from the roll bar of Jamie's car looking forward, you can see these three are nicely battling away. A little bit of corner cutting there, not the greatest. We might just cut back quickly, Nath. We'll just have a look. I just think I might have, if we're lucky, the incident with Troy Sipple that caused... Actually, no, sorry, Rob Carmichael. We'll have a look at what happened to Rob.
Sounds like time for another Dirty Pig replay.
It definitely does. Oh, poor Rob Carmichael caught up there. That must have been the incident where Troy Sipple got the penalty for, guys. So I can actually go back and show that one. Great looking livery, the old Fishy Motorsport.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And we'll go back to Mr. Mcknight. So we've got a little bit of battle in front of us here.
I've been having a look at just sort of about the top 10 and looking up and down the field a little bit. How we were a little bit concerned about tyre wear sort of coming to hurting these boys as the stint goes on. Everyone's doing relatively similar times, unless they're caught up in a battle pack. They're all doing relatively similar times to their sort of quicker times as well. There hasn't been a huge drop off or any major concerns from it all. A number of them, they've done their quickest laps on approximately lap 2, lap 3, which is to be expected once the car's nice and warm and once the tyres have found their optimal grip. But everyone seems to be doing time. Like, for example, Harrison Dengate's done his quickest lap on lap 9 of the race with a 2 minute 20.8. And then same for Luke Holland, who's done a 2 minutes 21.2. So it's interesting, the setup game that some of these boys are running.
Just quickly there, these Smarty and Jamie have actually worked their way past Troy Maguire just there. A big shout out from Roy Clark. So you might just have a quick look at how Paul Young's getting on. So Paul is currently sitting in 13th. He's down 2 spots from the start. But this early on in the race, we've still got 26 laps to go. Still got some fuel stops. He's probably sitting in a reasonable spot, doing a reasonable job. So can't complain too much. And we've got 8 people watching the broadcast at the moment, Roy. So we did have 12 once. Going to laugh at
Floating around those double digits again.
Yeah. So big shout out to the PRA boys. They give me a lot of hard time in vets, particularly Dave Baldock, who likes to follow me around from time to time, like the Fiat Panda the Top Gear boys used to have. But yeah, be good to see Dave have some good internet and get back up and towards the front, back in the battle. And speaking towards the front, we might just quickly check in on Mr. Warboys. He's nicely starting to come up to a bit of lap traffic. Looks like Shane Ewan's and the coffee cars had a little of an incident somewhere along the way.
It's a little bit battered and bruised, isn't it?
So Blake's 4.6 seconds ahead of Michael Whiting. He's 5.6 seconds ahead of Christian Smart, and Troy Maguire and Jamie Mcknight are still battling. I might just go back to that.
Yeah, it was I think it was a little mistake from Jamie going into the last chicane.
Something's happened there, but have a look who's lurking behind Jamie, a further 1.6 seconds back.
Mr. Harrison Denge, slowly closing that up. He is.
He's working his way back up.
You can see that carrot in front of him. He's going in for a nibble.
This is a great battle we've got happening here.
I wonder who's going to be the first to blink with pit stops. Who's going to try and undercut? Who's going to try and make this first tank last as long as they can?
Oh, absolutely. We just got to see. This is going to get quite exciting, I think, because it's definitely a two-stopper to get this one done. So someone's going to be thinking about fuel saving. Might try and push it out, hoping for a safety car, which we haven't had one tonight.
A little fun fact based off the last couple of laps. Harrison is about 1.5 seconds quicker than the pack in front of him, so H is definitely determined to try and go, hey boys, I'm here.
Well, I've got to say that the boys in front of him are a formidable pack of drivers.
Mm.
So for a young bloke like Harrison to push up on the boys in front, he's going to have to really show his class. And Harrison recently, or a month ago, a little over a month ago, did a Le Mans 24-hour race with Jamie and Troy. So it's probably a little bit of knowledge of each other's driving abilities as well, and a little bit of respect of each other's driving abilities. So it'd be very interesting to see how these boys play it out.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch them; it's another thing to pass them, though.
Absolutely. And like we said, there's still pit stops to go, and we've still got a fair bit of work in front of us. Christian in the Synergy Sim Racing entry. This is where you've really got to get in that slipstream of Troy. No, you're only 0.5 behind him. You can see he's in the slip now. It's closing 0.47. Didn't quite get close enough. Laps car in front. Opportunities are here. This is when you got to take them. Harrison's still not quite close enough to get into the draft of the boys in front. And we might just have a quick look at another Dirty Pig replay. We've got Paul Young. Paul Young had a little bit of an incident a few minutes ago. So we'll go back. I'm not sure what happened to Paul. Coming right up behind. Oh, a little bit of a tap there. I don't think so. I think just a little bit too worried about giving a tap on the brakes a bit too hard. I'd say that's all's happened there, Nath.
Very, very close, wasn't it?
It was very close. Might just have a quick look and see if the boys saw anything in that one in race control. No, I don't think so.
No, they're still having
a good time at Spa.
Yeah, they're getting their money's worth, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So we're only really a lap or two away now from getting into our pit stop windows. So
And another interesting fact of the night is that Damian Johnstone's up to 14th place from 44th, and Andrew Archer behind him is up into 15th place from 27th. So a couple of big movers right there, and they just outside the top 10.
absolutely. Absolutely. Some very good stuff going on. And a couple of little off tracks happening as well, so we'll just keep a loose eye on the boys up in front. And it looks like Michael Stewart and Luke Trahere have headed into the pits already.
First to blink for the evening.
Yes, going in that little bit early, looking for the undercut. Yeah, and this track's probably one that's quite good for that undercut.
Mm.
So Damian's got a big gap in front of him there, with his head down, moving up towards Paul Young in front of him. And we might just jump back up. Craig Roffey and Josh Strage are still battling. So looking at 9th and 8th here. And Scotty McCune sitting right behind these boys. Paul Hayes looking a bit battered tonight. So I'm not sure whether he's had a few run-ins there. We've missed those in the background. So
Steve Kennedy was stuck just out on the curb of turn 1 there, but he's managed to get it moving and safely rejoin. So thought maybe there might have been a sniff of a safety car, but luckily not.
now Christian has really closed up on Troy here. So this is a ding-dong battle here for third place. These boys are really, getting right into it. Harrison's dropped back a little bit, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
Wonder if he's used up all the tyre or if it was a little bit of that lap traffic.
Absolutely.
Little bit hard to tell.
Absolutely. And if you're watching at home live with us, don't be scared to give us a shout out, say good day, let us know where you're watching from, let us know who you're supporting, and rate how Nathan's going with tonight's broadcast.
But definitely don't rate my karaoke skills from earlier on in the night, because I know they're not very good. That's a proven fact, that is.
Race control. I forgot to go into the pits and I need to tow.
Oh, Michael Schroeder's called for a tow. Not sure what's happened there. We'll have a quick look, see what's going on with Michael.
Safety car boards and flags. Safety car boards and flags.
Oh, safety car's out. Interesting timing with the pit window.
Car boards and flags.
Safety car is out. Look at that.
If you want to redress that, mate, you put me on the safety car.
Yeah, we might just get rid of that one. And go back to that one. So, yep, Michael Schroeder, the Type N esports driver, is out of fuel by the sounds of it.
Oh no, just one lap too many.
One lap too many. So, mad rush into the pits at the moment. If I can get there. No one in. As they're coming in, that was interesting out of the camera. And everyone making the mad dive into the pits there. So, Shane McMillan coming in, followed by Matty McMillan. Faz has had an off. Not sure what happened to Farrington. Of course, you don't want to have an off under a safety car. It's probably not the smartest thing to do. That's Faz done. Big dive to the pits. Ooh, be interested if he gets penalised for that. Maybe an iRacing penalty for an unsafe entry. Well, we'll see what happens.
Hopefully he gets away with it. But yeah, so everyone, from the looks of that, nearly everyone that hasn't pitted yet made it in, except for the top 11. But Damian Johnstone and Luke Holland are still out and about on the track, and everyone else in front.
It'll be interesting to see how this affects the leaders, actually, because the old track map's not up for us at the moment, so I'm not sure what's happened there, guys. See if I can reload.
Wonder how this will shuffle the deck of cards and what'll happen. Okay, and Blake's going into the pits. Oh, a lap car just crashed in front of him, going into the pits. That's not what he was after.
No, it's not going to
Michael
be
Whiting's closed in a little bit there. That'll allow all the boys to
bunch
catch up
up.
a little bit. That certainly would have been a heart-stopping moment for both drivers, I reckon.
Right, just waiting for the track to reload. And there we go. Righto. I don't know whether that was on before or not. If it wasn't, I apologise.
Yeah. Everyone out of that top 11 now has dived into the pits, so taking full advantage of the safety car they are.
Let's just have a look where the safety car is. There, that's safety car's on track. Richie Barella. Out there. So just making sure Richard's out there on track. And
I believe Blake's first out of the pits.
yep. Yep, followed by Mike Whiting, Christian Smart. This is really just bunches everybody back up now.
We saw how close they were racing beforehand, so it's going to be on for young and old here.
So, of course, the safety car will be picking up Andrew Archer, who hasn't pitted. So, not 100% certain why Andrew hasn't pitted, but I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Pit strategy might show that one.
Well, that does take him from 27th place up to first place, so it's a number of spots he's gained.
True. And, of course, Maguire and Holland had pitted that lap earlier when the safety car first came out. So, it'd be interesting to see. Ash Barella had gone in at lap 11. So, he's moved up a little bit. Damian Johnstone still hasn't pitted according to that, but I think he may have pitted in that pit stop window with the others. I'll just try and see if I've got that information in front of me. Yes, he did.
So we've got another PRA supporter watching the stream, Tim, going for Paul Young. So he's where's he at the moment? Let's have a look through the field.
Paul.
He is it 15th, is it, Johnny, by the timing?
14th, I've got him.
14th.
Car 55, you may pass on the inside.
Yes, so Tim, big shout out to Tim. I've done a few races against Tim over time, and Tim, very, very fast driver, quite well known. And Richie flashing the lights.
As long as Richie doesn't copy Ash's move, we should be good.
Any other cars, one lap down, so cars 111 and 263 on the safety car restart, please transit the pit lane. There will be at least one more lap after this one.
Oh, there we go. You've heard it straight from race control.
An update on where the back of the queue is.
Ben Anthony, letting everyone know what's going on.
One moment, mate.
After pit one, bro.
So great opportunity, Nath, to do a bit of jump through the crowd here and have a look at a few of the other liveries.
Yeah, livery show-off time.
Yeah, so we might have a look at what Dave Douglas running the Boost livery, the Holden Mobile 1. So quite a nice looking machine, that one.
Yeah,
Bit of a
I
retro
do like
car.
that, I do.
Lovely retro one. Good old Darren Crosby. Nicely rolling along behind in the M1 Races machine in the Mustang. It's another nice looking livery. I love the lightning bolts in the front grille. Does a great job with that. And we'll go to my other mate, Mark Peck from Pecky Performance Racing. He's smiling away like the pumping piston that he is at the back of the car. This is great to see.
So he's made it up 8 spots so far, so he'd be happy with that.
Yeah, in front of Faz. Have a look at Michael Dumbrell from the Hypersonic Racing.
Right, it's looking a little bit battered and bruised there.
Just a little bit. There's Andrew Arch has finally gone into the pits, leaving Blake at the front of the queue. Might jump down, have a look at Kim Fora in the Stone Cold Racing livery. Kim, one of our newer drivers, doing really well. Got to remember, for those at home, that this is what we call a no AIDS series. So, they can't do anything that, there's no clutch assist, there's no brake assist, there's no nothing. In fact, the guys have literally got to start the car when they grid up. And if they have a spin, there's a real chance you might stall and have difficulties getting the car restarted.
Yeah, it's certainly one to keep in the back of your mind. It's very easy to forget to even just put the clutch in when you are having a big moment, because there's so much going on, and especially if it's a big incident, or we've seen how fast parts of the track are. When you are coming to a stop or pointing the wrong way, it's one of the last things on your mind almost. You're just trying to keep the car from hitting any walls.
Absolutely. It is never easy.
Had plenty of crashes in my time, and it's, even still to this day, I still struggle to put that clutch in. More focused on not hitting that wall. I think step one should be let's not focus on spinning in the first place, but minor details.
So, as you got to remember here, we've still got a good stint to go. We haven't quite reached half distance of the race. The boys have all bunched back up again. So we were watching a ding-dong battle between Christian Smart, Jamie Mcknight, Harrison Dengate and Troy Maguire. So the boys are all lining up behind themselves, with Luke Holland joining the battle. And can Blake and Michael Whiting pull out again from this pack behind them? That's pretty much what we're looking forward to as we move on to the next part of the race. And of course, it helps out Damian Johnstone as well. He's up 29 spots in 15th. That'll allow him to get on the back of Ash Borella and Paul Young and battle away. And of course, everyone's had their pit stops, so any of those niggling defects in the car have all probably been fixed as well.
Yeah, that's... Well, race control certainly got woken up from their spa, and they've had a very, very busy time all of a sudden they have.
They definitely have.
Good thing they're nice and refreshed for moments like these.
Absolutely. And Richie's pulling away. Let's see how he goes in the chicane. Shouldn't laugh. We always have fun with the safety car.
Well, Ryan's saying that he's doing a real good job at keeping it on the black stuff so far, so Ryan's very happy with that.
Yeah, for those at home, you're driving a car around very slow, you get cold tyres, and then race control says, hey, safety car, can you bug off into the pits? So, yeah, very, very good job there, Richie. 10 points for Richie there, everybody. Let's go to the action. As the pack start making their way up into the chicane.
All banked up, they're all looking nice and ready to go, aren't they, Johnny?
They definitely are. So drop back. Christian, Jamie lurking in the background, Harrison lurking in the background.
And Blake's gone.
And we are green flag racing.
We're away.
We are away. Nose to tail, War Boys, Whiting, Smart, Mcknight, Dengate, McGuire, Holland, Roffey, all through La Source, no instances. Coming down now, tyres will be a little bit cold. Got to hang on to it as we come up through Radion. Up the Camel Straight. Here we go. We've got Whiting in the slipstream of Warboys. Warboys defending. Oh, this is going to be tight. Oh. Warboys hangs on. Still too wide. This is great driving. Christian Smart in the background now looking for a piece of this. Still too wide coming down. Blake really having to keep his elbows out here.
Yeah, he's working for it. Michael's not giving it to him, not tucking in and waiting.
Whiting goes a little bit wide. Warboys leads them down into P1. This is great driving as you got Christian Smart, Mcknight, Dengate and Maguire all lining up behind you. So these boys can't battle too much because these other guys will be really getting in around them.
Plenty of action for your Tuesday night this restart's brought.
Absolutely. Jump back a little bit on the pack here, Mcknight. Dengate under pressure here from Maguire. So it'll be interesting to see as we now head up towards Blatchamont.
It's a very, very clean restart from the entire field, that was, Johnny.
It has been. I'm really impressed, actually. As here we come. Warboys. Some interesting lines there.
There's a few different ways you can take that final chicane, but the key is always setting up for getting that drive.
Absolutely.
Out down to that main straight. It can really kill your lap if you have a fantastic lap, but you get a little bit of wheel spin at the end after the tyres work so hard all lap. Demoralising watching that time run away.
It is. As Warboys is now pulling out a little bit.
One stop down, halfway through the race. We had one safety car.
We're still playing follow the leader though, as everyone's trying to break slipstreams as we come up the Camel Straight. As we look back from Blake, back to Michael Whiting. Whiting under pressure from Smart. Mcknight dropping off a little bit there. But a lot of pressure from from Dengate and Maguire. Just clipping a bit of the inside of the corner there as we come into P1. Heading down towards Stavelot now.
All very, very smooth, all sitting right there. Wouldn't want to make a mistake in it if there was any of them, because the guy behind is right there to take your spot.
And especially on the exits for these large straights as well. You make a minor mistake there, then you're in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble because you're going to be 5-10 kilometres slower than the car in front of you or behind you. As we go through Blanchemont. It's very, very smooth here by Blake. Nicely pulling away a little bit from Michael Whiting.
So the top 6 cars, last lap, not including this lap they're completing now, last lap, all did a time within 1/10 of one another. That's how close they all are.
Right, look at that. As we jump on with Michael Whiting, looking back at Christian Smart. He's under pressure from Jamie Mcknight behind him, who is basically holding up Harrison Dengate and Troy Maguire. This is some really great battling going on. Through on Rouge, up to Radion, onto the Camel Straight. 260 kilometres an hour. It's not liking that one. 265, 266. Up to 273 Ks, then brake hard down into a second gear corner. And you can see the stability of the car moving around.
All that section through here is 120, 140 kilometres an hour, so it's not like they're going slow either.
Absolutely. Let's try a different camera for a minute. See if that's our problem. So Michael Whiting still chasing Warboys. He's now pulled out to 1.2 second. Behind Whiting we've got Smart, Mcknight, Dengate, Maguire, and Holland starting to drop back a little bit from this battle here for second to fifth. We might jump on board with Troy Maguire. We'll have a look from his perspective. So Troy at the back of the queue here. You can see he's working very hard to hang on to Harrison. Right,
Yeah, he'd be doing everything he could to be in that slipstream and not lose that train in front of him. Be very, very hard to catch up again. Doing a good job though.
So you can see as we get top speeds here as we pull away a little bit. Using all the curb there at Blochmont. Coming up into here now. Hard braking, fourth, third, second. Even down the first as we go into the chicane. Takes the right, then the left. Got to be very gentle here not to over-accelerate and spin those tyres up. Carries the speed nicely. Up into third, into fourth. And then slap it back, third, second. Back into first as we go through La Source. Try not to hit the wall, get as close as you can and be smooth coming out here, because this is where you need to get the good exit to get your speed going up the hill from En Rouge. So we come down, he's right on Harrison's bumper here. Slight tap of the brakes. Jiggle it. Very, very sensitive, very, very touchy with the car. Hopefully didn't get a slowdown or an off track. Continuing on in the slipstream here. In sixth gear. Engine now screaming. Coming up 170 Ks. Looking for a way past. Harrison on the brakes. Troy on the brakes. Everybody hard on the brakes now. Back down to second. Just balance it. Quick gear change here. Nicely done. Slight little off track there as well. Now he's just got to wait. Just got to be patient. You want to get on that bumper, but you just push it that extra bit to get there. Nice and smooth here. He's actually getting on the back of Harrison a little bit. Cuts the track a little bit again there, using all the exit. As we come down now into Pouon. Oh, Harrison goes for an early exit entry there. A little bit touchy. So Troy almost ended up in that one. Has he got the speed to stick it up the inside here though, coming out of that? No, he hasn't. So Harrison working extra hard here.
So all of a sudden Harrison's attention's gone from trying to chase down in front to I can't be the last in this chain.
As you can see that these boys are racing right on the ragged edge here. This is great stuff. Great onboard footage.
Certainly closing it in, isn't he? Giving H a really hard time.
He is. Not the easiest spot to think about a pass though. Coming up through Blochmont. Oh, we had someone tow without permission, 261. Next we come up into the chicane. I'll come back and work out how that is in a minute.
They're all very much in that train though, but yeah, there's certainly no breaking of the pressure at all.
Definitely not. Troy doing a really good job though to hang on the back of Harrison. Harrison doing a good job to hang on the back of Jamie. Christian's walked away a little bit from these two, or three. So it's a great battle we've got here. Christian's, oh, nice little touch of the grass. Harrison having a think about it on Jamie. Becoming a little bit smarter, pulling it up, saying no.
This is when all the mind games come out, they do. The will he go, won't he go, can I trick him into a mistake? Can I force him into a mistake without touching him? Like, can I position the car in a way that makes him so worried that he messes it up? But at the same time, you don't want to mess it up because, again, that bloke right behind you will happily take your spot.
He's sitting there waiting to get into it. So as we jump on board with Jamie Mcknight, looking back to Dengate and Maguire. So you can see Maguire's even just boxing that little bit, looking for a spot. Harrison a little bit more ginger this time coming through P1. And Jamie getting good drive coming out there. Maguire having another little look. Harrison defending. As we were talking about earlier, this track has really got just a lot of flow to it.
You can really see, even just with these three drivers here, where they're quick and where their setups are quick throughout the track. Like, there's some aspects where H is struggling to hold on against Troy, but then all of a sudden H is up on the back of Jamie. Like, it's an interesting yo-yo effect just to complete the same amount of distance for all three drivers and get very similar times.
As we come up into the chicane, another high speed section here, 270 k's back down to first gear. You can see Harrison all over the back. Harrison under extreme pressure from Troy Maguire. This is really great racing. And there's been an incident down the back. We might just have a quick look, Nath. Adam Dividito's had an incident. I'm not sure what's happened. We might just quickly go to the Dirty Pig replay and come straight back to the action here. Oh, he's ran a bit wide, into the gravel. Keep it off the wall, son. Just, spins it around. That's, right in front of Paul Hayes there. And not an easy spot there. Shane Roffey's also had an incident. We'll have a quick look at Shane while we're here as well. Up at the chicane. Another late dive to the pits. I'm interested to see if Race Control have an incident with that one. And we'll go back to live pictures. Back on the gearbox of Jamie Mcknight looking backwards. Still got Dengate and still got Maguire right behind him. Jamie pulling all the tricks out of the book here, I think, and trying to hold on to his position.
Yeah, he's I don't think Jamie's just out front sort of cruising, leading him. I think he's very much got one eye in the mirror there.
Absolutely. Harrison just seems through P1 though, just to lose that little bit on him, which is interesting. And we might just jump on to Michael Whiting and have a look. He's got Christian Smart now right behind him as well. So this really is turning into a great battles running through the group here. We might just check on the Damian Johnstone, who's up into the top 10 now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic effort.
Up 35 spots. And he's done well out of the safety car. And he's pushing up now on Josh Drage and not far from Luke Holland. So he's another safety car, and I reckon we'll have Damian Johnstone in this battle as well, which will make it really interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, running on lap 22 of 36, so we've still got another 14 laps to go. Anything's possible.
Yeah, and then if a safety car comes out, how does that fit in with your pit window, and can you get those extra couple of laps out of the fuel if you do pit early in the window? Can you be able to actually make it home the whole way, or
absolutely?
If it is green flag pit stops, again, what do? Do you try that undercut that we were talking about earlier in the race, or do you try and get every little bit out of it and keep your tyres as fresh as possible for the end? So it's getting exciting again, it is, Johnny.
It is. It is. It's really interesting. We've got I saw someone spinning in the background there. We've got a big shout out from Herman. He's telling Harrison to get on with it, telling him to come on. So a little bit of excitement going on. And of course, Damian absolutely pushing up on the back of these three in front of us here. And these boys really, we might go up the front here. Lee Harrison just got Jamie. No, side by side. Look at this. It's on.
Oh.
And he's through.
Jamie
Troy's going to have a look.
in.
The wise head by Jamie there, showing the fact experience.
But he might lose another one though. It's Troy certainly wanted to jump on the bandwagon of H's there and make it on through.
Of course, Jamie Mcknight, the most winningest driver in V8 Veterans. Showing all that years of experience and worldly knowledge, not to keep going door banging with Harrison, keep out of the way. And car 55 has exceeded 30 points. We did talk before about the incident points being excessive on this track. So Adam Dibadito coming in for a drive-through. So it'll be interesting to see whether Jamie is also fuel saving as well. And just while we're watching out the corner of my eye, Damian Johnstone's got past Josh Stroge. And just puts him up now behind Luke Holland. So this is a ding-dong battle here. Absolutely enjoying this.
Yeah, I can't pick who's going to... It would be a lucky guess to try and pick who's going to come out on top at the end of this.
So Blake Warboys is only now a second in front of Michael Whiting, so he hasn't really walked away, as we can see him in the foreground there. This is how far away these three are from the leaders. It's going through turn one now, through La Source. So Luke Holland's crashed. What's happened to Luke?
Not too sure.
I'm not too sure either.
Just trying to have a look back, and there's nothing.
Nothing
popping up.
Nah, he's cooked it in the little bit. Kept hold. Just got a little bit out of control there in the chicane. And we'll just jump back up on Michael Whiting. He's right behind Blake Warboys, with Christian Smart right behind him. And then we've got that battle in the next three further up. This is really turning into an exciting race here.
Yeah, looking a little bit throughout the rest of the pack, like they're all sort of in their own little bit of a train throughout bits and bobs, but they're definitely not spread out to the point where nothing's going to happen. Like once that tyre wear comes into it and the fatigue also starts kicking into it as well, that's one point that we haven't sort of really touched on too much, is even though the boys are all getting better at these longer races, it still takes it out of you. It's still a lot to do to drive this far and still keep doing the best that you possibly can. So once that little bit of fatigue comes in, I reckon there'll be many battle packs throughout the field.
As we came back, a slight little hiccup there. I'll get rid of that one. So Harrison's still in front of Jamie and Troy. That looks like it's settled down a little bit. We might just jump up. Michael Whiting still chasing Blake down. Not much in that now. That's down to less than a second. So this is shaping up to be a very good finish. Be interesting to see whether Blake may be saving fuel. So if Blake's saving fuel, then it could be a case of the next pit stop's going to be all important. And these boys are not too far away from coming up to some lap traffic as well.
Just another spanner in the works for them.
Absolutely. So we might just have a quick look here. We've got some good battle packs really forming here. Like we've got Nicholas Loveridge getting past Barella. Got that one at the right time.
Oh, they're all going for it. They are through here.
Let's just get the chopper out. Oh, big dive pits for Ash.
Yeah,
so Ash did. A few of them have got. I think we've got Blake in the pits too. We've missed that.
Lap 24. Yeah, a number of them. Wow, a number of them have gone in. Must be pit strategy.
Must be. Or maybe Blake.
Good old undercuts coming back out.
Maybe Blake was worried he cooked his tyres. We did talk about that.
So he's come out in a little bit of clear air though, Blake has. So he'll be loving that.
With Matty McMillan behind him and Darren Crosby in front of him. A little bit of work to do. Looks like Luke Holland went for the pit strategies there as well. So we see what Michael Whiting does up front. Still under pressure from Christian Smart. Harrison still out, running in third. Jamie right behind him. In the background there. So Christian definitely working his way. staying on the back here. It'll be interesting to see whether we go for the pits or whether we keep going straight.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see whether Jamie's been saving fuel. Fuel strategy is really going to be important, I think, now.
Yeah, because even though H might have got past him, if Jamie has saved that little bit on fuel, he might just get it back and H might have to go in for a round 2 battle.
Ooh, Adam Dividido's had another incident. As we come up into the chicane, do we see anyone go to the pits? Yep, Whiting, Smart, both in. What about Dengate? Dengate's gone in. Mcknight goes another lap. I talk about the fuel save.
This will be...
I'm just going to have a quick jump down the back for something, Nath, that I'm just seeing in the corner of my eye. We've got a car stopped. So Adam Dividido stopped on track.
Ooh.
So we could even see a safety car here.
This will be an interesting twist.
I'm bidding this lap, Shane.
Just waiting to see what happens. I haven't heard anything.
Nothing's come through on my end. The suspense is building.
It looks like he might be moving again. He's in the pits, so I'm not sure what happened. But he was stopped there on track.
We're having a few issues getting the car started again. If it came to a stop for whatever reason and he couldn't keep it running.
Go left.
We're not sure what exactly, Nath.
Thanks.
So the $1 million question is, at the moment, we've got Jamie Mcknight with Josh Drage. They've gone longer on this stint. So has Rob Carmichael, which has pushed himself up for another 4 spots back into the group. And working very hard behind that is Blake Warboy in 4th with Michael Whiting, still within a second behind him.
Mm. And Christian Smart as well. He's right there and ready to mix it up at any moment too.
Yeah, Christian having a really good night. Driving really well. So interesting to see as we come up. See what happens with Mcknight and Drage. Dengate sitting back behind Troy Maguire, so Maguire's got Dengate in the pits.
Not far off saying what Jamie's going to do. Coming through the final fast left-hander before hitting the chicane. Will become a battle of the pit crews, it will.
And Jamie diving into the
Jamie's
pits.
in.
What about Drage? It's the next one. Josh Drage. Can we see him coming up? Here's Josh, nothing into the pits.
Disqualified for towing without permission.
Yep, there we go. We were on that one there. Adam Dividido.
Rob Carmichael, he's coming in as well.
Yep.
Pitting in, Troy.
Bringing his Fishy Motorsport vehicle in.
And here comes
Late.
Warboys.
Entering the start straight.
And
Sorry, Nick.
so very, very tightly bunched up between Warboys, Whiting, Smart. And let's see how these boys come out of the pits. Where are they? Dengate's jumped. Dengate on Smart. Sorry, on Mcknight.
Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
And it's going for round 2. The other advantage that Jamie has right now is those fresher tyres. Yes, they're a bit cold at the moment, but once they're up to temperature... Oh, he's having a look, H. He's having a look.
Sorry, Ash. Yeah, go ahead, Ash.
Still side by side they are. Still side by side. Plenty of room though. Great racing from the two of them.
It is.
Bump me through pit lane.
Yep, have a look, mate. Away, mate. Nice.
And H has got him, but McKnight's having a sniff up the inside. Doesn't quite get it done though. But will those fresher tyres allow him to have another stab at that position to get it back from him?
So we might just quickly move up the front. It's getting hot again up there. And just have a look, Dave, first for that. Who's that lurking in the background, Nath? Who's that lurking behind Jamie?
That is
Damian
Mr.
Johnstone.
Damian Johnstone. He's going to be praying for these boys to keep on battling.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to hear the banter going on between these two afterwards. Some great racing. I'm just going to go back to the front. It's very tight up there as well, so you better try and stay over everything at the moment. There's a lot of action everywhere. As we move back on, War Boys, Whiting and Smart basically throw all within a second. Throw a blanket over these boys. I'm actually going to call it now, Nath. We're only nine laps out. I'm going to say we are in for the big finish.
Well, I'm seconding that right there and backing you in for that. I reckon it's going to be a rather entertaining finish because it's certainly one of the closest finishes to the race or late build up to the final stint that we've seen so far.
Absolutely. We've pressed the button. It's all happening.
We're away. We're launched. So it's been an hour and 11 minutes that these drivers have been racing for, so definitely that fatigue factor kicking in, but will the adrenaline factor come in and take over and really help them out to get through to that finish line?
Absolutely. Oh, Whiting having a bit of a sniff. I tell you what, it might be Fishy Motorsport. The man might be Whiting, but he looks more like a shark to me at the moment. Definitely circling around.
Oh, Christian made a little mistake in the background.
Yeah, a little bit wide.
We got scared by your shark comment.
Joshy Barella going for Blake. Reckons he's in for the win. This is a ding-dong battle going on here. Might just keep a bit of an eye down the back though still. The boys are all sort of fairly well spaced out a little bit. There's a couple of little battles. Of course, Harrison is still under immense pressure from Jamie. Just about as much pressure as what Blake is from Michael. So this is some really good racing going on all the way through the top 10. And then back in the field, we've got Nathan Gore and Dave Douglas having ding-dong battle, and Steve Kennedy's under a lot of pressure from Shane Ewan. So, it's been really good to see. In fact, we might just jump back and have a quick look at Mario Reali. We'll come back there. Mario Reali is... Mario is under a bit of pressure there as well from Ash behind him, but he's putting a lot of pressure on Anthony Cuffson in front of him there, one of the Stone Cold boys. As we jump back through, Michael Whiting still keeping the pressure on. Troy Maguire looks like he's getting a little bit closer in the background. Harrison has been absolutely under a lot of pressure there from Jamie Mcknight. And I've got a left car coming out of the pits. On Rouge. This will be interesting.
Very, very awkward timing this will be.
It will be. They got through. They might get him on the camel straight. This might be all right. So Frank Kodak in front. Nicely stays over to the right side. That's good.
I'm no expert, but I reckon H is seeing a lot of white in that background there.
Well, I reckon he is.
Oh, he just let Jamie through.
H did?
Yeah. H is slowing up.
He's dropped back a few spots. Did something happen or?
Well, I'm not too sure. He's really, that was very strange.
He's sort of gone from sitting in 4th back to 7th. It's not showing up as an incident, so not sure what's happened there.
I wonder if it was a little technical glitch or if there was... I don't know.
I'm not sure. Can't go to the replay because there's no replay to go to. And Damian Johnstone is still flying. He's now up 38 spots, sitting in 6th, putting a lot of pressure on the only Jamie Mcknight. So, yeah, it's rather interesting. Just don't know what happened to Harrison. Pressure might have got to him. He did have Jamie applying a lot of it.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of why. It would have been very distracting the way Jamie was applying all that pressure.
Let's have a quick look at Dave Douglas. He's in a bit of a battle here in front of him with Nathan Gore. We'll keep a loose eye on that front group for the next lap or two. So yeah, Dave Douglas and Nathan Gore doing really well. Jason Tibadito just in front of him. And Steve Kennedy behind in the M1 Racer. So another good battle there, and we've got another good battle up here with Matty McMillan. Chasing down Nathan Loveridge in front. So Matty with the pink pig on the bonnet. And we might just jump up as well. Darren Crosby. Another one on the M1 Racing Falcon. Sorry, Mustang. I'll get it right one day. And car 111 has exceeded 30 points. So that's another drive through. Expect a few more as we get towards the end of the race. So yeah, Crosby and Shannon McMillan having a good little battle here. A couple of the boys from Vets. A big shout out again to our mates from PRA. Paul Young sitting in 15th. He's got a little bit of traffic, a little bit of a gap behind and in front. So basically ploughing along his own. So no need to worry about a slipstream there. Yeah, it's have a quick look back up the front, see how they're getting on.
Yeah, they're all like with the incident points. How we're sort of starting to see a few of them copping a few black flags just through having too many incidents throughout the race. These front boys, it'll be very interesting to see where they're at with it, because you can, with those off tracks, you can be a little bit cheeky and push the boundaries and use up some of those incident points, but you don't want to use up too many by going just slightly too wide or slightly too narrow to try and maximise the advantage that you gain by going around the track and using all the limits, all the outs, all of everything that you can. If you got the guy behind you who's got a few more incident points up his sleeve to spend, all of a sudden it's a lot harder to be able to keep him behind you.
Absolutely, becomes a very difficult prospect as well, because you've got to remember, you get a 5-point penalty as well at the end of the night if you did get, say, 15 incident points. So these boys that have gotten 30 points that we've seen for the drive-throughs, those guys unfortunately have got 10 incident or 10 penalty points at the end of the round, which makes life rather difficult for them. So even though they might finish in, say, 5th spot, what happened in the back there? One of the lapped cars, Paul Hazel, Frank Hodak. Yeah, what I was saying was, you might think you finished 10th, but in theory you might have finished 12th because of the penalty points you've carried.
Yeah, so it's an interesting one where you want to keep the bloke there. You want to do everything you can to gain it, like finish as high as you can in the race. But at the end of the day, is it really worth it when you're looking at the big picture of the championship? And if you're looking at the championship for yourself plus your teammate, is it worth it for the two of you?
Well, hang on, mate. We've got Michael Whiting, we've got the boys side by side here, having a real ding-dong. This is epic.
And whilst that was going on, Damian Johnstone just got past Jamie Mcknight as well. So Damian's up into 5th place. So it's happening everywhere.
Come on, work for me. Let's have a look at that pass. We'll go to the Dirty Pig replay. Top of the camel straight. Great spot to do it. Jamie letting him slightly get through there. He would have had the big slipstream, a lot of speed coming into that corner. He would have carried more than Jamie. That's a pretty easy one. Jamie could be playing the fuel game too. And young Harrison still in 7th behind Jamie by about a second, so he's putting the pressure back on him.
Well, still doing very similar lap times they are, so
This is
it'll all
still,
come down to the tyre life, I reckon.
yep, and this is turning into a ding-dong battle here with 5 laps to go. It's really anybody's from this point. Michael Whiting seems to have the pace from the slipstream. It's a case of, can he use it, and then can he hang on to it in front?
Yeah, he might be able to get ahead of Blake, but then Blake has got the same advantage that Michael would have had when he was behind Blake and being able to use that slipstream and get ahead of him. So might see a little bit of yo-yoing going on if one does get ahead of the other.
I reckon Christian could be licking his lips back there too, waiting for a mistake from these two in front of him.
Well, here you go. Here's a little fun fact from lap 31. Blake did a 2-minute 21.266, and Michael Whiting did a 2-minute 21.266. The identical lap time, which is very, very rare. But then Christian Smart behind him, he did a 2-minute 20.9. So he's definitely taken a big chunk out of their lead, about 1.3 seconds in that previous lap.
He's coming. He's coming. Let's just have a quick check of the pit stop strategies. So Blake pitted a lap earlier than what Michael Whiting did, and Smarty is on the same strategy. Maguire is on a different strategy as well, so he's looking to go a little bit longer in this last stint. And Johnstone, he's got the freshest tyres as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Mcknight's a lap fresher again, so it'll be interesting to see if Jamie can put the pressure back on Damian Johnstone there in 5th. And Harrison basically running the same strategy as Whiting and Smart. So this is going to be a real interesting finishing here, I think.
Yes, and it's one for the viewers that are watching as well. Send us a comment and see if you can pick who the winner might be. Is Blake going to hold on? Is Michael going to get him, or is Christian going to do a little bit of a Bradbury and get the both of them?
Using all the track there. These boys are really going hard.
I think they're getting to the point where they don't mind using up 1 or 2 of their incident points just to keep their track position.
Just a quick look out for those following at home. Those haven't worked out how to get the bottom half of the timing tower to rotate through people. A few people doing well down the back. Matty McMillan's up 10 spots. Anthony Cumpson's up 4 spots. Nathan Cook is up 6. Pecky's up 7. Kim Fiora's up 9. Some great driving from those boys down the back. It's good to see a few of the newer guys having a good night out. And there's been a few incidents. So poor old Ash Barella's now back down in 35th spot. No, 22 spots down from where he qualified. But
a bit of luck he doesn't blame us with that commentator's curse.
yeah. And we've got a lapped car in front here. Paul Hayes has crashed again. I'm not sure what's happened there. But we might just stay on this for the next 3 laps because this is where the action really is. Hopefully Faz will get out of the way. I'd say just looking at it, Paul Hayes would have been a pit lane entry. So a little bit of lap traffic in front here. So hopefully the boys have been on the radio to tell him, out of the way, Faz.
Yes.
P1's probably not the best spot to catch lap traffic.
Faz
Faz right off the track. Yeah, nice work, Faz.
Good stuff, Faz.
So Christian's less than a second behind Michael Whiting now. So that's really caught up. Harrison's 1.3 seconds behind Jamie. Jamie's 2 seconds behind Damian Johnstone, who's now caught up and is less than a second behind Troy Maguire. So I'll be putting my money, I reckon, on Damian to get past Troy for 4th spot. And then these top 3 here. It's going to be really interesting to see if Blake can get it over the line. He's basically led 90% of the race. Josh.
But it's that lucky last lap that is all that counts at the end of the day.
It is. I think this is what it's going to come down to.
And Josh is still backing Blake to get the win here. He reckons that he'll be able to hold him off. So you got all the support from Josh, you do, Blake.
Let's have a look from the gyro on the roof of the Synergy Sim Racing Christian Smart car as we come down through on Rouge. And so these boys are really battling up front here. Very ginger coming across, ready on. Here we go. Whiting's having a look.
Michael's got everything. Having very equal years. Side by side.
So, and Whiting is through.
Yeah, I think
Or
he's
is
got
he?
him.
He's got him.
Yep.
Yep.
Blake will not let this go lightly. He will do everything he can to get back in front.
But look who's lurking at the back. He's caught up to this.
Christian.
Mr. Christian Smart. He's caught up to these boys now. All of a sudden it's gone from a two-way battle with an observer to 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very interesting end to this race, we do.
With 2 laps to go. Let me see what happens next time we come up the Camel Straight. And Damian Johnstone's got past Troy Maguire as well, but he's 7 seconds back from this pack. So that's an up 40 spots. If you're looking for a hard charger, that's who it's going to be at this stage, unless something drastic happens. I apologise if commentator's curse kicks in.
Yeah, look, we're good at it.
As we come up through Blanchemont. Christian looking very stable, looking very smooth. Michael Whiting taking the inside line, the cover off Blake there. Bringing Christian right up to the back of this group. This has been an absolutely epic race. With 2 laps to go as we cross this time by.
Yeah, nearly an hour and a half into the race, and yeah, it's definitely been the best that. Sorry, got a little bit tongue twisted there. Definitely been another great outing from Spa. This track always seems to bring along some great racing. Blake's got the toe. Michael definitely taking a defensive line through here. Who's going to blink? Christian having a big look as well. Blake trying around the outside, trying to set himself up.
Oh, he's back inside here. He's back in. Oh, no.
Too wide.
Wow.
Didn't quite get him. Oh. Hard racing from both boys.
Still too wide coming down into Russell.
Yeah, that's brave. That is very brave at this time of the race.
Yep. Will be too wide still into no name.
Too wide.
Too wide into no name. This is really happening now.
Oh.
This is on. Oh, could be an off track there.
Oh, Christian's got a great run. Blake might be in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, this is epic.
Oh, he's having a look. He's stuck it in.
Too wide round per one. Oh, Blake, bit touchy there. Great driving skills there by Blake though to catch that. You'd never dream going too wide round there.
No, especially when you're the bloke on the outside.
It looks like Jason Dividito and Nathan Gore have had an incident, but we won't go to the replay until after the race. We're going to stay where the action is. And Harrison Dengate is 0.3 seconds behind Jamie Mcknight as well, back in 6th and 7th. So we'll
close it up right on his rear bumper. It's happening everywhere.
Where do we look? So it looks like lap traffic in the middle. It looks like Whiting's got away a little bit here. Now he's under pressure from Smart. So happening everywhere. As we come up into the chicane for the second last time. Christian Smart all over the back of Warboys. Warboys fighting hard to get back on top of Whiting as we come up onto the white flag lap. Car 11's gotten a drive through for exceeding points as we come into La Source for the final time. Oh,
no, Peck's
war
gone a little
boys.
wide.
Yep, war boys.
Oh, no.
That's going to hurt him. So let's smart through now. Lap traffic getting out of the way. As we come through on Rouge, ready on for the last time.
I wonder if he spent a lot of his tyre life in that battling.
As we head up the Camel Straight for the last time. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Defensive from Christian there.
Blake having a little bit of a look.
Very, very close, these three. Can't pick it between any of them at all.
Can't pick it at all. This has been an epic battle. I'm really impressed with the driving standards here as well. These boys have kept it fairly clean.
Christian getting a little bit loose in the tail there. He's maybe spent up a decent chunk of his tyre life too.
I'd say after an hour and a half, man and machine, all starting to fatigue a little bit.
This will be very interesting going into the chicane. They've all settled into a nice little train here, but I think they're all going to be relying on that slipstream. So I'm not going to have any nails left by the end of this race.
As
Here
we go for Stavilo, heading up the hill to Blushamont. Who's going to blink?
Who's got the better run?
Who's going to blink? Jump back on with Blake, heading up through Blushamont.
Great run from all. They're all definitely close enough to have a look at one another.
Who's going to... A lot of covering.
Christian, very deep into that.
They're all going to neatly get through. I was expecting someone to be a bit loose.
Bit of wheel spin from Christian.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Within a second, 1, 2, and 3.
Wow, that was a very entertaining finish to the race.
And Harrison Dengate on Jamie Mcknight. Same thing again. Throw a blanket over that as well.
Couldn't quite get him there, but another great running from H. Another great running from Jamie there.
Paul Young putting a lot of pressure on Luke Holland here, coming up through Blanchmont into the chicane. So still battling back here for 13th and 14th. And of course, the main talk... Oh, someone's a bit sideways there. Main talking point tonight is Michael Whiting. Some would say, winner, fish and chips for dinner. Great drive by the boys there.
I reckon in race control on the spa room might like some fish and chips for dinner.
And here we have Michael Whiting using up what's left of his tyres. Very little. So a well-deserved win to Michael Whiting. And then Christian Smart home in second. Blake Warboys third in what has been an epic performance by Blake to finish third after leading most of the race. The old fishy boys all getting in amongst the action there. And we've still got a little bit of battling down the back. A few more cars to come home.
Lovely team finish there from the Hypersonic boys. Going across the finish line together, side by side. Always a good camera shot.
So Nathan Gore just sneaking home in front of Tyrone Anderson here. With Troy Sipple behind for 28th. 29th. Quick look at the Cobra livery of Nathan Cook. And then we've got Pecky back in 30th. Followed by Ash Barella and Kim Fiora.
Nice little drag race to the finish
line. Yeah, Shane Ewans bring it home in 33rd. And the only man left on track, I believe, is Todd Martin, who is coming up through Blanchimont. And we're nearly home, I think. Yeah, it's been a great race tonight. We've got in the waiting room. We might start off by... I don't think anyone's told Michael he has to come in. So we might just start off. We might grab our hard charger first, Damian Johnstone. I'll bring him in. We'll have a chat. Damian, Hard
Good
charger.
evening, Damian.
Hey boys, how you going?
Good, mate. Looks like you had a very busy night.
Yeah, well, I started at the back and then I went for a quick toilet break and come back and the race has started. So I triple handicapped myself tonight. Yeah, no, it was a good race. Car felt good and tried to pass everyone as clean as I could, and I hope I didn't upset anyone.
No, it was fairly epic racing going on. There was a lot of good battles in the top 10 for the majority of the race. And you sort of managed to get in the back of the action on a few of them there to finish fourth, getting past Harrison and Jamie.
Yeah, no, it was good. Definitely to jump up 40 spots in a race is not bad, and the car looks clean, so it was a good result. And Smarty got P2 there, so good on him, mate.
Yeah, it was a good drive by Smarty. Anyone want
Well,
to
you
give a quick
host-
shout out to?
You guys for doing a mega job for what you do, and the admin team. Also SSR and all the boys there, and the United boys as well, working together now, so it's working out well.
It is. It's gone from USS to USSR. We might bring up Michael and have a chat to the race winner. Michael Whiting, first
Good
race.
evening, Michael.
How are we?
Good, mate. First race in the East Coast Series, and you take the chocolates. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate. That's good. Enjoyed that race.
Great racing out there.
Yeah. The longer races seem to be good. Been watching Rob do a few races, teammate. So thought, oh, you know what? I might come and join him. Spa's one of my favourite tracks, so that helps.
Yeah, look, it's been epic race to watch. It's been an epic series actually. So if there's any other guys out there that still want to jump in and have a crack, get in on it, because we're trying to, or Ben's trying to create a series that's fairly open and good standard of driving and good length of races, so it's entertaining to watch.
Yeah. The longer races are definitely good.
Is anyone you want to give a shout out to, Michael?
Just the sponsors: Black Hawk Graphics, Relax Marine and Game Fishing, Sideways Photography, DC Shades, and Precision Sim Training.
Too easy, mate. Congratulations again on the race win.
Thank you very much, guys.
Work, mate.
We'll bring up Christian. Christian.
Good evening, Christian.
Oh, hi, guys.
Well, you had probably the best seat in the house for most of that race.
I certainly did. It was. I thought I was at the show, mate, and just watching for something to just drop, mate, at the in front of me, and I thought, you know what, I could actually capitalise here.
Yeah, it was a great drive, mate. It was really exciting to watch, and everyone was really sort of fighting it out amongst themselves behind you as well. Jamie, Harrison, and Damian and Troy were keeping the pressure on you as well from behind without just sort of, just epic.
Yeah, I certainly was watching that relative, and I knew, awesome drive there for Damo to come from literally dead last to where he finished. Yeah, great drive.
Yeah, and you and Jamie teaming up for Scops this weekend?
Yes, indeed, mate. Yep, we've got a alliance going there with the two teams there. Yes, United Sim Racing, USSR.
Oh, it'll be good to watch. Keep an eye out for that one. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Exciting.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to, Christian?
Yeah, John. I'd like to thank everyone that races in this series. Yeah, great series, and all the admin and you guys are putting on a great show. Yeah, I've got my sponsors. I've got backer that normally Damo would be watching me race in the other series that I do there in the V8 veterans, but I've got a mate Laurie who's got Torrent Safety. I've got all the boys at SSR, and I can't go naming all of them. There's plenty of them, but we've got Positive Mechanical, JK Science, Smith & Sons, Ede Racing, Eaton, DM Cinematography. We've got Newlon, we've got CSR, Grumpy Graphics, and all the admin that obviously, and the watchers that watch the show and make it all happen.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. And congratulations on your second, mate. That will be a good one for the points for the championships as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes with us.
Yeah, I was happy with that. But the guys in front were too quick there. Yeah, congrats to Michael and Blake there on an awesome drive too there.
No worries. We might bring up third place getter Blake Warboys and have a quick chat to Blake. Hello, Blake.
Hello.
Good evening.
Third place getter tonight.
Yeah.
What an epic race. What was it like from your seat?
Very intense, but a lot of fun. That's probably one of the best battles I've had for a long time. That was awesome.
Oh, it was epic to watch, and particularly when there was a splitting of the pit strategy there.
Yeah, knew it would be just short, so I thought, roll the dice, see how we go. Got a little bit of a gap, I think, coming out, but just not enough to break that toe. And toe's so big around here, it just brings them back, and I knew that'd be a good fight right until the end there.
While both of you are in here, the side-by-side moment that you guys had through the double left, were both your hearts in your mouth?
Mine was, considering I don't have that extra screen to see where he is. Just praying I've left enough room, basically. But no, it was good.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to, Blake?
To the team again, WK&P Sim Sports, Wodonga Carts and Parts, WK&P Race Engines, LGK Carts Australia, Dirty Pig Clothing, Kinetic Industries and Kinetic Motorsport, Benny and everyone that puts on the league, you guys in the broadcast, streaming you a bit closer to your P plates, and then everyone in the race. That was awesome fun, especially the top guys there. That was awesome battle. Had a blast.
We had a trading paints misfire this evening, so P plates are a little bit off still.
We're racking up the hours, but we still gotta work before we go for that driving test.
Fair enough.
We might leave it there, guys, and say good night, and we'll see everybody again next week at Snetterton, which will be
Good evening all, and have a good week.
Thanks, guys.